Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille, and today is 3rd of October 2020. Welcome to video number 281, I think. Last, I don't know, week or two maybe, I reached to a few of my friends in Poland, and at least two people, when I asked them, how are you, what's going on, they told me that they had a tough year. And one of these people is my friend that kind of inspired me to record this video. And if and I know that you're watching because she told me that she's watching those videos. So if you do watching this one, I want you to know that I dedicate this video to you. Not because you need it, or I don't know, maybe you do, maybe you're gonna get something from it, but definitely push me to look at this thing from this perspective. And I'm not in liberty to say your name, but you know that who I'm talking about, and you know it's you. So thank you so much. And again, I dedicate it to you, and I hope this year from now on is going to be much better than the last 12 months. So all the best to you. But going back to the subject, I want to talk about it because yesterday we talked about building self-esteem and kind of discovering how this whole mechanism works. And if you take this subject to normal people that you meet, that you know, you'll see that it's get much more complex because of how we live our lives and what is really the truth about how we live our lives. So that's why first thing that I want to kind of mention is that something that we probably we know this is something obvious or should be obvious to everyone, and I found that most of the people understand that and know that, but even though they act like they don't believe it, or act like that they don't remember about it, that everything that you see, that how life looks like, is basically a lie to some degree. Because let's say it straight, we may think that everything is fine, everything's great. When you ask your friends, how you doing, and they always say that is great, and everything is awesome. You look at their Instagram or Facebook page, and then life is beautiful, life is great. But then you look them in their eye, and you know that this is complete not true. It is completely fake. And this is the truth that is very sad, because I'm not saying that everything and all in life is misery, but you and I know how many of the things that we share, how many of the things that we show on in message boards and in Instagram and social media, it's just the best bits. But the things that we really struggle with, nobody knows. Probably in 99% of you, if I'm gonna go to your closest friends and ask them what that person is dealing with, what they work on, what they're struggling with, nobody will know. The same thing would happen if I'll go to your family. Probably nobody would be able to say anything about it. Maybe like a single people. And you've got those, this is great, this is awesome. Because that is how it's supposed to be. At least to have one or two people that you'll be able really to feel comfortable enough to share what you struggle with. But most of the time, we don't. That's why our lives they look like it's great because we kind of market it as it is. But unfortunately, you and I know how you struggle when you're alone, and when you have to deal with things that you really have problem with dealing, like day to day. So fake lies. That's the truth that so many of us understand, but we act like we don't, because we compare ourselves to other people, and even though we know that this is fake, you know that there's something, going on under the table, you still feel depressed because of the comparison. People living fake lives, and they don't tell you most of the things that is happening. Second thing, is how do you, knowing that truth, knowing that this is exactly what we struggle with, how do you use that to build your own self-esteem, to build your self-worth? And interestingly enough, if you look at how life goes on for the people who are the most shiny in a crowd, they are most funny people, most visible. If you look at them and you try to become friends with them, you can see that how this whole overselling of so-called happiness, it's fake. And many times the relationship with these people are going to completely change, and you'll see this person in a completely different light, or you'll say, this is fake, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. Because how you build something meaningful, not something fake, is basically by opening up. There is no way for us to feel, personally and in the group, that our life matter, that our relationship matter, if we're not going to open up. And I'll tell you a short story. The moment I started working in the previous company, when I was still in Poland, I remember the situation. We are sitting in a kitchen. There's a bunch of us guys sitting there, that's IT, so like mostly guys. And there's a armchair here, and I'm sitting on it. There's a sink over here, small table over here. There's another armchair, and there's a sofa. My friend, he prepared himself a tea. And because we were talking about something, whatever, he prepared the tea, he sat down, and then he kind of figured out that I think I forgot the tea that I just prepared, and I have to get up and go through all the kitchen, get my tea, and get back. And he just rolled his eyes, and I just saw that, and I understood what's going on. So I just got up, took the tea, put it in his hand, and sat back. And I remember his reaction. He was just like, he reacted like I said something bad about his mom, or something like this. And in that moment, I kind of understood that people completely, they don't know how to react to kindness. I said, why are you looking at me like this? I was closer, so I just, why wouldn't I, help you? I was surprised that he was surprised, you know what I'm saying? And I will start observing people, and I saw that so many people are having issue with kindness in any form, that someone is just doing something without wanting anything back. The same thing, I was working with a lot of ladies in that company. We had so many projects. We worked with a few of them. Some of them were sitting in our box for quite some time. That was amazing to observe how it takes time for people to kind of accept the fact that you want to do something good for them without knowing anything, without wanting anything back. And it happened with the guys, it happened with ladies as well. And obviously, it works great in the long run, but at the beginning, it just, this constant, this kind of inability to accept the fact right away, just looking for, what do you really want? What hides behind your being kind to me? And then ask yourself, how do you want to live your life if what you expect by default is not getting kindness? Do you really think that you're going to share, that you're going to say something that you're struggling with, that you're going to open up to people if you don't expect kindness from them? It's just not going to happen. It just won't. And that is why, even if you know that people live their lives and they fake in it, when you want to change that, you're not expecting kindness. So that's why you're gonna close down, you're gonna retract, you're gonna play the same fake game. You see, that's why if you want to change anything here, you have to do at least two things. One, be the one who's able to open up. Find the people who will be able to deal with this. Not meaning you're overwhelming them with your problems, but there are people who will be open to open up and to talk and go a little bit deeper. And there are some people who are never going to do that. So you get to be able to see what kind of group of people do you're dealing with your friends, and then if that's the group that you want to be part of, or maybe you need to change the group. But amazing thing, the moment I started to be kind to people, the moment I started to kind of opening up myself, and then whenever we're sitting and talking about some things, I was basically pushing a little bit just to go deeper, just to not talk about things that were completely not important, completely bringing nothing to our lives. I was asking like tough questions. I would just kind of steer this whole thing. And sooner or later, because people kind of like to talk about things, like to open up, if there's at least one person who is able to do that, being the first one, people start to opening up. People started to change, and the whole conversation started to become completely different at the beginning. And then, interestingly enough, when I started to do that, we started to bond. We started to get much closer together, and I loved going to work, spending time, with tea and just talking with people, just because we started to build relationships. And the second thing that you want to go even further with this is to start asking people, how can I help you? Because you see, Simon Sinek is saying that Alcoholic Anonymous, they have like a statistic which basically says that there's like 12 steps in the program. They say that you have to do all 12. You've got to master all of them. And the 12th rule is to start helping others. And they say that if you're able to master 11 of them, but not 12, there's like huge percentage, I don't know, it was like 60 or something, 60% chance that you're gonna get back to your alcoholism. Unless you master the last rule, which is start helping others. And then the percentage just goes down really fast. The same thing here. Maybe you are feeling that you're not worth it. That your self-worth is basically, at a zero. Maybe you feel that you've got depression. Maybe you feel that you don't matter. Maybe you are, sick. Maybe you are, divorced. Maybe you have been dumped lately. Maybe you feel like crap. But one thing that you can do is start the conversation, open up yourself, and kind of build this relationship with people who are able to and want to do this. And then start asking, how can I help you? Because that's gonna spark the relationship so fast that you'll have issues with handling this. People long for connection. People long for opening up. That's why now we're in this COVID era when everybody is working from home, and we lost so many relationships. Take your phone, call someone, ask them, how are you doing? This is the same thing that I did with my friend that I was talking at the beginning, and what I heard was kind of heartwarming. She said, thank you for thinking about me. That was so surprising because I was thinking about her, but it just, I don't know, I felt that something's happening. I just needed to contact her. And I love this kind of relationship that's built right there on a spot. Because if someone feels that that you care, it just completely changes the whole vibe. And I remember there's tons of situations, but one of the situations that I experienced, just because I kind of pushed myself toward seeing when someone's, I see that they're seem sad. I was always, how are you doing? I was asking, is there anything I can do for you? Is everything fine? And many times people just open up. And one of the situation was one of my friends, and that was again one of the ladies that I work with. She came to the office, said nothing to anyone, no hi guys, hi boys. She just sat down, launched the computer, and start working. Just looked at her because she was sitting like in the box in front, kind of we were facing each other. And I said, everything fine? She said nothing. And I remember I just opened the communicator the moment she got online, and I wrote something like this: if you want to talk, I'm here for you. That's it. 30 seconds later, she just locked the computer, got up, and asked me, "Do you want to go for a coffee, for a tea?" That was obviously fake, but she just took me to the conference room, and she said like very sad story that something happened in her friend's life. In her family, there was death in the family, and she was so shaken that she basically started crying. She The situation was kind of crazy because I didn't know how to react to that. And then we start talking, and then I tried to help her as much as I could. Told her a few things that kind of I think help her to feel better. If you can feel better, if there's even possible in this kind of situation. But a few days later, they had a funeral, and I remember just sending her messages like everything's gonna be fine, stay cool, be helpful to your friend that lost the person in the family. Did that mean something to her? I don't know, but I think yes, because we had great relationship from that moment. And again, it's like everything comes back to the same place. The moment I'm offering help to someone else without wanting anything, it builds a relationship and trust so fast that it's so amazing to see that. I was surprised, and I was really, and until today, I really value this kind of relationships that I had from many years ago. And that's why I want you to kind of take the helicopter view on whatever I said right now through this whole video. Try to compare what is your self-worth and self-esteem when you're locked in your house, alone, struggling with your issues, and how it changes when you start opening up, building a relationship with people, start asking how can you help, building trust and building relationships to the point that when you enter the room, there's always someone that you talk to, that you helped, that you've been close to, and you can see guys just getting up and wanting to shake your hand or say, "Hey, it's good to see you." Ladies, the smile just going from ear to ear right there when they see you. How do you think your self-esteem and self-confidence will be in that moment? That you have relationships, that you can say when something is wrong in your life, but most of all, you just try to help as much as you can, wanting nothing back. Because you see, you can build your self-esteem and your self-confidence based on trying to be the shiny one, trying to be the most funny one, but it's fake. The thing that matter, the self-esteem that kind of that it's built on something that brings value to your life and the life of others. You build that by opening up, by being vulnerable yourself and helping others. Like in this 12-step program, start helping others. And the comparison of self-esteem of you being here and someone who is just pretending to be the funny ones in the group, no comparison at all. Because they're gonna go back home, they're gonna look themselves in their face in the mirror, and they know how much their life is fake. So this is what I want you to take from this video. Even if you're broken, even if you're completely devastated and depressed, the one thing that you can skyrocket your self-esteem and your self-worth is not by concentrating on you, but concentrating on others. Even if you're broken, start helping others, and you'll see how they trust, how their smile, how their love to you will warm to yourself, and you'll feel that you change person. And the best thing in all of this is the longer you're going to play this game that way, no matter what room you're going to enter, you'll be able to see, oh, these guys are, just dancing and jumping over here. There's the person who is talking to no one. There's the group, really sad people sitting over there. You can go there, you can start the conversation, you can bring some light to their life. They're going to reflect that to you. And many times what happened to me, when I started talking with one of the people, we just start talking about really interesting subject. It goes deep really fast if you just, approaching people like this. Then other people start to join our conversation. Why? Because we long for something meaningful. And this is exactly how you bring your self-worth and self-esteem, by bringing this to the table. Think about it and do something about it, because you can change your life no matter how broken you are, just by reaching to help someone else. If you like this video, like, share, comment. If you didn't, comment as well. Tell me what you think and what's your experience. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, give me a shout. I'll be glad to do it for you. That being said, See you tomorrow.